thing is coming. It's just a matter of time.
A factor in releasing products? Will we have more products coming now since the AVM is out?
What the AVM did was gave more functionality that didn't exist before. There's still more features that are coming. I'm actually really excited for AVM 1.1. That one to me is actually a really big feature set coming. But I would say that yes, there is. It's hard to explain this exactly. Yes, there is actually features that are released with each one of these, but not on products that you've already actually seen and used. Purely because of how the process works is that, like, for example, Tinyman, it's been fully audited. It's been on testnet. If they were waiting for 1.0, you wouldn't have been able to actually use it on testnet. But there are other projects that are waiting. There's actually a side project that's I've been working on, of course, that is waiting for 1.1 because it's releasing, I think, over 2 million individual NFTs. So we need a feature in 1.1 that'll not make that super expensive to launch them all. So there are a bunch of projects that are waiting for features to come out, but there are also a lot of projects that aren't, and it's really difficult to actually say which projects are and which aren't. I mean, as soon as like AVM.9 came out, it actually opened up quite a bunch of potential.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. So, but I had a question about that actually. Like, what version of the AVM is on the beta net right now? Is it 1.1 or 1.0?
It's 1.0.
Okay.
But 1.0, I believe it's already actually released, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So you will wait for 1.1 to test it on the beta net first?
So like, once again, it goes back to which project you're speaking of, because I know you guys probably all figured out by now is I have my finger in like a million, and different projects require different features that either do exist yet or don't exist yet. Reach itself, we should be fully 1.0 compatible by probably by max 2 more weeks. And then when you compile the reach, it'll use all the extra features of 1.0. It usually takes us around 2 weeks to upgrade our compiler to use the latest features. And like that alone, like, we'll be able to optimize the contract launching. Like before, it took, I think, 3 different signings to actually launch a contract. With 1.0, when 1.0 comes out, it'll cut it down to 2, and when 1.1 comes out, it'll cut it down to 1. So there's a lot of things like that really optimize, really actually improve the user experience as these features come out.
Thank you. Any question from you, my friends around? So if there is no question, I will probably try to ask mine. Like, because does it mean that every project has always have to spend time to get ready for the next AVM release, or is it compatible? Because if I did my project on 1.0, do I really need to rebuild like the smart contract logic, etc., or can I just leave it like that and that works?
It really depends on the feature. There's features that increase the limits that are actually based on the underlying limits of what Algorand put in place. Like, for example, in 1.0, they increased the number of contracts that you have the ability to interact with to 50 from 10. So that was a thing that wouldn't require any new compile. but actually, the large majority of like the major features of being able to have extra functionality would require a full or would require a rewrite of your application. This is one of the benefits of Reach is that um, with when you're writing with like manual teal, then if something comes out, you have to rewrite your actual application and how that logic flows. But when new features come out with Reach, you'll still have to recompile, but you don't have to actually change your application because the compiler itself will optimize your application to use the new features.
Oh wow! So that accelerates the maintenance of the DApps, right? That's really a lot of
Yeah.
yeah. That's so cool.
Hi, friends. Good morning. I would like to ask a question. I'm new in this world, but I would like to know the situation about bridge, the connection with the Algorand blockchain with other blockchains. When that's gonna be able, or is how is the situation now? And other question that I have also is about the stable coins that I heard about the Danish krona, the euro, the Swiss marco or franco. I don't remember, but yes, about the stable coins. So how is the relation of Algorand blockchain with the big institutionals?
I'll answer the Reach thing because I'm probably the best person to answer that. Um, I would say that I think what you're asking me is about interoperability. Like, when will you be able to transfer assets from chain to chain? Is that correct? Or are you asking me just when will you be able to launch your application on multiple chains?
No, no, interoperability, exactly.
Gotcha. So interoperability is something that I care actually quite deeply about because I am not happy with most interoperability solutions out there because most interoperability solutions are bridges, and bridges lose functionality from complex assets when you bridge from chain to chain to chain. And what I mean by this is, say if you build an ERC20 bridge, um, and you bridge, but you do it in a way that is it allows for a ERC20 on Ethereum to say to come to Algorand, but if that ERC20 has custom functionality above and beyond what the spec says, all of that extra functionality would be lost, and would require a complete bespoke bespoke bridge. And in my mind, that's actually not is not powerful at all, and it's not scalable at all because especially in the future, you're going to have a lot of custom applications that do custom things as the space matures. Um, what we are working on, and I'm not. This is not an announcement because I don't like to announce things until they're fully baked. But one thing that we are working on is the ability to build interoperability that will allow any reach or applications that are built with Reach or assets that are built with Reach automatically bridge to any chain that Reach touches. And we can do this because Reach has a intimate knowledge of the data structure of the asset itself and knows how to compile on each of the chains. So what this will allow for is this will allow all you have to do is write your application in Reach, and um, and then you through a bridge you'll be able to transfer that asset to any chain that Reach connects to. But like I said, this is still early days, so this is not an official announcement or anything of that sort. But it is something that we are actually thinking about hard and plan on actually adding to our roadmap.
Yes, I understand that is interoperability with has too many variables and how is really not only for Algorand but for all the blockchains will be a really big problem to be faced because it's as you said so many variables and customs on the tokens. But thanks so much for your question. About the stable coins, who can ask
I
me?
think Nadim can answer you on stablecoins because he's been working on stablecoins. And Nadim, how are you, my friend? Can you tell us more about stablecoins?
Hey guys, hey Bilal, hey Chris, pleasure to be here. Yeah, sure. So sorry, I might have missed the original question. So is there a specific question or just a general one on stablecoin?
No, I'm just curious because and this now in the market, I haven't. It's not common to have stable coins like you in other currencies that is not dollars, no. But in the future, my vision is all the lands, all the states gonna have their own blockchain, their own CBDC. So and then these coins from the states you be like need to be interoperable between all the blockchains of the states, no? Like the euro is gonna have a blockchain with the native token, and but also compatible with the Americans or all the other countries. So then my question is how Algorand gonna will be the role will Algorand be playing on this situation?
Yeah,
This
I understand it. I understand it.
perspective.
So I'll give a bit of a background. I can answer this question in general, not from an Algorand point of view. So in fact, I was in Dubai last week and I was sitting with Dr. Maria Padumki. She's a professor in one of the universities in Dubai, and she was actually working on a research paper which talks about interoperability of blockchains for CBDCs. So we did a bit of a brainstorming. So the way I see it is that, and I share the vision that most of the governments around the world would have their CBDCs, and they, as a risk mitigation plan, they would operate it on multiple blockchains. So, for example, if you see Circle, based out of US, they have the stable coin USDC, and they have it on multiple chains. Now, I think they maintain the swapping between different chains, issuance and burning and all of that internally. So I don't think they have a decentralized infrastructure which allows you to basically interoperate the USDC on different chains. But I think eventually that will happen. So I think bridge is definitely one of the options about how that could work. And the other approach, which Chris mentioned, sounds great. Probably that would take longer because it's interoperability between the chains altogether. But I think for a project which is specific, let's say CBDCs, I think it would be a bridge could be a faster approach towards interoperability between blockchains. So the way I see it is that, let's say you have stable coins on Algorand as well as Ethereum. So if the person that you're sending money does not have an Algorand wallet, then somehow the bridge or the connector should be able to receive the Algorand based stable coin, issue new coin on an Ethereum based stable coin, and then the end user would end up receiving a stable coin on the Ethereum blockchain. So that's how I see it from a user standpoint. But obviously, we need to brainstorm together, and we need more inputs about how this could actually be achieved. And I think, yes, from a chain level, it would be great to have the core blockchain teams like Algorand Foundation and other blockchain team members working together on this.
Hey, good morning, Nadine. Monty here. First,
Hey, Monty.
how do we get that woman on here? We need to invite her to one of these, right? If she's written a literal paper on CBDCs and interoperability, the blockchain, let's extend that invitation. Second, what if we just, for now, just bypass that interoperability And you know what people are using their stable coins for? They want to purchase products with it. What if Payscript just accepted all of the CBDCs and worked out the exchange stuff on the back end? Is that possible?
Yes, absolutely. So with respect to one, so Maria is a friend, and I will invite her on one of our sessions, hopefully next time or the one after that. And I think she would love to join and share what she has been working on. She actually likes sharing knowledge, so that would be great. And also I gave so she didn't know about Algorand much, so hopefully I did a good job of explaining the benefits of Algorand. So she's diving deeper into it, and it would be good to get her feedback as well in general about what she thinks of Algorand as a person already having knowledge in CBDCs and starting out on Algorand. And with respect to the second comment that you made, so absolutely from a point of view, from a integration point of view, wherein as a platform, for example, Payscript can accept stable coins on multiple chains. So we have plans to accept USDC on Ethereum. We have already, I think we are already going live very soon with USDC on Algorand. I think it's just in final leg of testing, but it will be live out in production very soon. So as a platform, we can accept all these payments on different chains, and we do have an internal mechanism where you would be able to just swap it between the chains. Yes, so that's definitely there.
Excellent. I think that's probably the first step, right?
Absolutely.
So exciting.
Yeah, that helps a lot of people to actually migrate from, let's say, USDC based on Ethereum to Algorand based USDC because I mean, most of the time people want to do subsequent transactions when they hold stable coins, right? So it's not just you buy it and just keep it. You have to either send it to someone else, pay it to multiple people, etc. So then the gas fee becomes a huge headache. So in Payscript, what we are planning to do is allow a bridge. It's not a bridge per se, but it's just a swapping mechanism wherein you would be able to swap your Ethereum-based USDC to Algorand-based USDC, and then you can just pay forward to all the people that you want to send it to.
Wow, that is so cool. If you can bring those kind of automated payments, like group payments from Payscript, that would be so powerful.
Yes, and we hope so. And one of the key things that we are keeping in mind, and I would like to share this to the community and get some feedback as well. The way exchanges right now do it is that you have to select the chain when you want to withdraw or well, basically withdraw or deposit. But the way we are doing in Payscript is that all of our wallets are on chain. So you would see USDC into brackets, let's say ERC20, and the other version would be USDC into brackets ASA, something like that. So they would be completely separate. So the user would make a conscious decision and click on one of those rather than going through everything and then selecting a chain down the line. So it's very clear, very clean from a user point of view. You'll see 2-3 options of USDC, and then you just pick the one that you want. So it's very intuitive.
And the swapping mechanism, I can't wait to have it. Like I have obviously a Payscript account, and I'm gonna use it very quickly to exchange USDT for USDC if I can.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it will be out as the swapping mechanism might take some time, but first we'll go live with USDC, USDT versions of Algorand, and then next thing in pipeline is to allow users to swap between Ethereum and Algorand stablecoins.
Wow, thank you. That is so good. And can we create an account with email as of right now, like email? And I remember about Twitter. Maybe we can create an account just from our Twitter handle.
Yeah, so right now it's only email for now. We are working on the single sign-on to support Twitter accounts, but we have decided to drop that from the web app, and it would be available only on the mobile apps. So our mobile apps are a bit behind the web application. So we need to catch up on the features that we provide on the mobile app. And once we have that, we would have the single sign-on more than single sign-on. It would be more like a connect your Twitter account to your existing Payscript account, and once you connect it, you can basically send algo to your friends by using their Twitter handle. Obviously, both need to connect the Twitter handles. So I think that would be pretty cool.
I can't wait for this functionality. This is like incredibly powerful. Very like, I guess it doesn't sound like something crazy, but actually it is, because the whole crypto community and Algorand community will be able to transact freely across the world using Payscript. Thank you so much for doing that. This is so good.
Thank you for the feedback. Love it.
Monty, imagine being able just to exchange value through Twitter. Like, that would be incredible, right?
I was gonna ask, are you gonna be setting up like wallets via people's like Twitter name? Because I saw one of the blockchains I was looking at was doing it with their cell phone numbers. So if you could do it with Twitter names, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, that's what we are planning to do. So right now, if you go to Payscript, we set up hot wallets through email. So when you sign up using your email and password, we set up hot wallets. So the same approach, we're extending the same approach towards mobile numbers and Twitter accounts. Yes.
Is that reminiscent of the ENS system when you see somebody on Twitter with the .eth handle? Is that would that operate somewhat similarly?
So that's a bit different because that's basically an Ethereum name service. So for Algorand, in order to have that in Algorand, we would need a name service within the Algorand blockchain per se. But the way Payscript would work is basically you authenticate your Twitter account. Once you have authenticated yourself, we assign the wallet address. We link the wallet address that you have on Payscript to the Twitter handle. So when you do a transfer, let's say within Payscript using the Twitter handle, then we fetch the associated wallet address and make a transfer to that one. Hope that makes sense.
I think so. So I could, though, just on my own, without having an official, I think, system, we could encourage people to change their names to, Monty Allen algos, and that Twitter handle would be tied to my wallet if somebody wanted to tip me for one of my videos or exchange an off-chain or an off-exchange NFT exchange or something, right? Or I could use that Twitter handle possibly to plug into exchanges instead of my full algo wallet, right?
Yeah, we actually have a solution for that, which is a bit different or separate from the Twitter handles, right? So the way that you mentioned for that to work, people would have to basically change their Twitter handles, but we can do that. We can do what you're saying without making changes in the Twitter handle. So what we are having in Payscript is something known as Pay Me IDs. So these are just name tags which would have a public URL. So let's say Monty, you have Payscript account and you just go to your settings and you create a link, which is a pay me link, and you can choose the pay me handle that you want. So you can keep it as monty.algos, for example, and then that would be available as a donation link or a payment link publicly. So anyone can just go to your link, select the amount of money they want to send you, and then complete the transaction.
So Nadeem, I'm assuming here, but just because I know a lot of knowledge about the Algorand, that this is a centralized process, right?
It is, yes.
Okay. This is not a critique by any means, but more of information that I believe, knock on wood, when AVM 1.1 is released, we're going to be able to actually have unlimited global space. So that's like an Algorand router or something of that sort could actually be done fully decentralized.
Fantastic.
So one thing is keep that in mind if you want actually to decentralize this eventually. That hopefully is the ability to do that is hopefully coming soon.
Fantastic. I think that's the equivalent of ENS, I think. So yeah,
100%.
okay, perfect. Yeah, so that would actually make it decentralized. So our approach at Payscript is to basically build functionalities as soon as possible in a decentralized if it's there, or in centralized without waiting for the features, and then we basically migrate to the decentralized solution. So yeah, thanks for that. I'll keep in mind.
No problem. Yeah, it'll allow you to actually create a map on chain, and then
Yep.
actually
Yep.
have the users pay for the extra space in the global state that allow for this to happen.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. That's pretty cool. I think this could be utilized for the source of funds scenario. So what I mean by this is we spoke to a lot of banks in Dubai and UAE in general about supporting cryptocurrencies in their banking apps. We spoke to a large payment processor who wants to start accepting crypto payments on their payment processing systems. And by the way, all of these demands are coming from their customers. So that's a great sign because people want to start accepting crypto payments for their day-to-day business. Users want to pay in crypto, so it's basically bottom-up approach. Customers are demanding it. The banks and payment processors are looking out for solutions and how they can integrate it. So one of the key concerns was about the source of funds, and I know this is this is most talked about thing in the crypto space, but eventually that the naming service can be utilized for building reputation of the users in general to ensure that the wallet or the name tag is not associated with hacks, not associated with dark webs, etc.
Cool.
Who did commit his algo to the governance?
Not me yet.
Yeah, me neither. I have to do that. So I just got back to my base yesterday night. So I'm just catching up. And we have some amazing news at Payscript. It's in final stages with related to how we're going to work closely with Algorand Foundation. But I'll share it. I think I'll be able to share it in the next Sunday podcast or catch up.
Hey.
Oh, you can share it now. We want to.
Nadeem,
I don't want no trouble.
great job announcing an announcement. You're full on crypto now.
About the governance, I did the governance, but one thing that I don't understand is so the algos continuing on my wallet, but if I put more algos there, how's that? So I can't have less than what I committed on my wallet, right? But they will not be mixed. It's like if I put more, so it's not wasn't.
I think
I
you're
thought,
worried about commingling of funds because the amount that you committed is still available in your Algorand or your MyAlgo wallet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did notice that. So right now it's really up to you to kind of monitor that and make sure that it doesn't dip below whatever amount that you obligated in there. But the excess amount seems to have no issues going in and out. Somebody else correct me if I'm wrong, but I've continued to use my Algo wallet because I use that same one for various NFT purchases, and it's connected to my yldy, so I'm depositing there. So I have money above and beyond that amount going in and out. It doesn't seem to be any issues, and I haven't heard anything else negatively about that.
But,
Why wouldn't you guys just create a new wallet and just for the stuff you're actually staking, so you don't make a mistake?
Yeah, I have a separate governance.
Yeah, I had 6 wallets, and I consolidated some. I didn't understand that that particular one. I assumed for some reason that it would get locked, and then I realized it wasn't. I just kept using it for a little bit just to see what would happen. But you're right. I think having a separate wallet is really the way to go.
Okay, I will do that also. I think it's the best.
Yeah, we can even create like 5 different wallets and all subscribe them to governance. And if you want to unlock one, we don't lose as much as if everything is in the same wallet.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's good. I have much experience about create different wallets, but it's very easy. I'm gonna do that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, my friend. Actually, like, if I want to commit more algos right now from the same wallet, do you think there will be a problem?
There's not a problem. What happens is that when you submit the tokens for governance, when you want to add up, you're not adding on to the existing. You're just resetting what that limit is.
Okay, cool. So that's pretty easy, I guess.
Yeah, does anyone want to give a rundown about how they did the staking and become a governor, just so that everyone can, whoever is planning to do it, can hear it firsthand, like myself?
Monty, do you want to go?
I was actually going to make a video about this later on today because quite a few people have asked for
Wow.
a demonstration. So I was going to go through, create a new wallet, and do a test run, so to speak, so that I could record it, screen capture it, and then send it out to folks. My Algo wallet actually had a pretty good walkthrough for it. They sent it out, I think, yesterday, the day before. But it's not difficult at all. The Algorand Foundation's walkthrough themselves was relatively easy. I would say it took me less than 5 minutes to get all the way through. Hardest part is plugging in your password multiple times, right?
Right. So can you? Is there a place to check to see how much you specifically have staked?
Yes, there is a website, and I actually saved the link in my phone and computer, and you can check your own account, your personal account as a governor, and how much you're committed, and how many votes are coming, and have you voted, etc. So yeah, it's pretty easy. So basically, we just need to commit the algos on the governance webpage. Is very simple, just to be aware of like scams, because probably there will be fake ones. So you have to be very careful and bring the link from the Algorand Foundation website, or MyAlgo, as Monty said. And then once you committed, you see how many you committed, and then you see the vote that are coming. My question is, I wonder if there will be many votes per period or only one. Do you know, Monty, or anyone does know the answer?
So my understanding is that there will be multiple votes, but we're not voting on everything initially, right? It's sort of a slow transition of power, I guess, if you will. So they've got several lined up, and some of them, I think we even get to vote on an agenda as well. Like we get to vote on what we're going to vote on initially. So there should be multiple votes.
And if I understand it correctly, like so they gave a bunch of examples of what the returns would be at 1 billion and 3 billion and I think 5 billion. I forget exactly what it was, but um, if we're only like if we stay at say 200 million, the returns would be ridiculous. I'm not saying that it will because I know there's a lot of people that haven't actually staked yet, but that right like it's a
Yeah, it's 180%
it's
return or something right now.
yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, it's like the super reward in 2019. Have you subscribed to the super reward, Chris, in 2019?
I did not know.
I did, and I got, I don't know, like 200% or something like this. I don't even know. I didn't do the math. Like I got like, no, maybe 300%. I don't know. It was huge. And the last reward was in September. It was recent, and it was much bigger than my uh yeah, I don't remember, but we had a big one. So this one I think will be big too, because not many know about the governance. And I'm not sure if we will even go above 500 million algos actually. And I hope we won't. I hope we won't.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why it's really important for people who are involved in governance to really be involved with it in the early stages to keep that building and growing.
that importance of you interacting and being participating really was why I was leaning towards option B. I don't know if you guys have already talked about the options, but initially I was very heavily leaning towards option B, which has the penalty, that 8% penalty, because I really wanted to force people to like, okay, I better pay attention to this and make sure that I vote and make sure that I stick to the rules. Otherwise, I could lose 8% of my algos. I've since kind of reconsidered, and I'm a little more neutral now. I didn't mean to be like overly harsh, but I want to make sure that people who join governance are serious about it and understand that this is it's a lot of direction, a lot of responsibility that goes into it. And I think you kind of have to balance the the importance with it with the barrier to entry, because we want people to be involved. So I don't know if anybody else has some thoughts about that. I haven't made my final decision yet. I mean, we've still got several weeks before that vote comes up, but I was initially trying to get people to like 100% commit, and I thought that penalty would encourage people, kind of prod them along. Any other ideas on that?
Yeah, about governance. I don't know the difference about governance or about in community. For example, I have some ideas about music. No, I think in culture in general, I think it would be nice if Algorand starts to promote the blockchain through culture, no, with artists and music.
On the both A or both B, I think that it should be already the people that is in governance aware that if they don't vote, they're going to lose their reward. And I think that it's too hard that they are still going to get hit at 8% of their stake. So I don't know. In my case, I'm still sticking with option A when I was reading up the option because of that. Because I think that you should be aware that you're going to lose the additional rewards if you don't vote. That should be enough.
Yeah, option B might scare off too many people from participating. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes, that could be something that could end up with option B.
Yeah, I've heard that feedback a lot.
Yeah, but that also reinforces the choice for B, because if people are scared to come for B, then B becomes much more interesting for the people that are more involved. We had this conversation with Kwame. What do you think, Kwame?
I mean, for option B, you are more involved, but for option A and B, you both have to vote in both options. Like, it doesn't really matter in either case. But with option B, you are locking your algos for that set period, say like whatever it is, like 3 months or whatever the time period is, and you're locking your algos for that time period. I was under the impression that after that locking period, you could, take your algos out and do whatever you want with it. But during that locking period, it would be, locked in for that set period of time where you can't move it. And I think the issue was, from my understanding, is that in option A, you can kind of still move and swap your algo in and out. But with option B, your algos would be locked in for that time period. But I might be wrong.
I think both options you can withdraw. You've got the ability. They won't actually. It doesn't actually get locked. But if you did withdraw on B, you would be penalized as part of the contract 8% of your original stake. So you could do it, but it's kind of like you're in the U.S. You get your 401k. If you want to take some money out before you are eligible to retire, they're gonna penalize you and you got to pay extra taxes on that. So it's possible, but it's just like break in case of emergency funds then.
Yeah, and then that kind of goes again around the lines of, well, are people locking in their algo for governance, or are they locking in their algo to gain rewards? Like, are they participating to really be a part of governance, and that's why they're locking in their algo? Or are they just locking in their algos to say, well, if I lock in my algo and I have a big bag, well, I can make, a lot of money by doing so. So, I mean, with option B, you're really participating and forced to more so or more incentive to participate in governance than say option A, in my opinion.
If you want, I can read the two options just to remind everybody. I have it here. Yeah, do you want it?
Go for it.
Yeah, so option A, the governance reward amount for 2022 will be 282 million algos, 70.5 million per quarter, while maintaining the current simple locking mechanism. The rewards are distributed among the governors who vote and maintain the committed algos in their wallet for the entire quarterly period. Governors failing to do so will lose their rewards but will incur no further penalties. That's option A. Option B, the governance reward amount for 2022 will be 362 million. So it's almost 100 million more. So 90 million per quarter with the slashing mechanism. The rewards are distributed among the governors who vote and maintain the committed algos in their wallet for the entire period. In case of failing to do so, governors will be subject to an 8% slashing of their committed amount on top of losing their reward. Yeah, that's the two options.
So option B, you're getting more,
Much more.
but with higher consequences. And option B, option A is just basically what it is right now.
Yeah, and you're just losing your rewards, but they don't touch your wallet basically.
So the voting, so the voting on you're basically having to vote, and it's up to an option of, getting a quicker return on B with higher consequences and what everybody's currently used to already. So
I personally like B, but that's because I'm a 100% holder. So I'm gonna.
Me too. Yeah.
Agreed.
And also, in addition to holding, you have to vote as well. So, for example, if you're busy to vote or you forget to vote, then also you get slashed. It's more than holding.
But you can set it to vote with the foundation. So you can actually just set it, say, okay, vote whatever the foundation
yeah, you can offset your vote.
But
if you agree with
I haven't found that. Actually, they talked about it at the beginning, but when I committed my algos, I haven't found a function to just commit with the foundation. Did you find it? Did anyone find it?
I think that the votes are still very good.
Sorry, we couldn't hear
I only
you.
saw the one option right now for that one, request for the option A and B, but I haven't seen anything where you can, pass off my voting rights to say the foundation or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I didn't find it either. I think they removed it. Also, what Eldar said before, like, because it needs to be an active work or something by the community that received these tokens to not be deemed securities. So they probably removed this option.
Yeah, that was my first vote, and I saw that you were able just to vote with the foundation. I just was like, oh, well, that sounds like a chairman.
Yeah.
I hope eventually you'll be able to choose who you delegate your vote to. That is something I would love.
Yeah. I don't even know if I would like a delegation system, because people will like just delegate, and it will become a bit more centralized long term.
As long as there's no lock-in period for your delegation, it allows for people to supply and remove the actual power to vote freely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and this could also lead into like reputation systems. So, where we have a system like this, and you have someone in the Algorand community that maybe you follow, and they're a governor, and you could, say, you know what, I, hear this person's tweets, or, like, crypto nerd, I watch his stuff, and he's a governor, and I want to pass off my voting rights to Monty because a lot of the stuff that he's saying I agree with, and I'm okay with that. And a system like that would be cool too.
Or, you could pass it to Reach, would be a governor.
I guess it would depend on like the different types of things that come up. Like if it was a technical thing, then yeah, I would, if Chris was governing on upgrades to the AVM, and I could pass off my voting rights to those technical updates if it was maybe a proposal for like a new ARC or something like that. So yeah, there's a lot of cool ways where participation systems and reputation systems and seeing on behalf of another member of the community. Yeah, there's some cool ideas that could be spun up.
Hey, I just wanted to mention that the ability to vote with the foundation, I think, is gonna you'll be able to see that option once the period for voting actually begins on October 31st.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think so. Right now, it's just, hey, who's all going to be involved? You sign up now, and then when voting opens up, then you'll see that option. Yep, I'll vote with the foundation, or this is my vote, A or B.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey, so I wanted to speak a little bit about the option A and B debate. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you?
Yeah.
Okay,
How are you, my
perfect.
friend?
Hi. And I've been hearing for a while now, and I've been understanding like the points you make for option B, and it's true that the rewards will be much bigger, but at the same time, I feel like we're still at the point that we need to consider adoption. And I feel like having a benevolent system that allows users like more flexibility is something that's really important, and that's, for me, that's why I'm like really leaning towards option A instead of B.
Yeah, I totally get your point, and actually, I'm still thinking about it because you're right. Like, we need to not scare away like new members for the community to be bigger and stronger. And we are at such an early stage that I thought maybe that would scare a little bit. But yeah, it's an open question. Does anyone wants to react?
I definitely can see the point there. But at the same time, like voting, since I'm only voting for myself right now, and I'm not a delegate, I think of myself, and I say, there's opportunity to actually make more because I'm gonna for doing what I'm already going to be doing.
Yeah, maybe if I can add on this. Sorry, Elda here for you guys that don't know me. I'm an ex-banker, so I'm trying to crunch numbers and think about it from a SEC point of view as well. So I mentioned earlier, obviously it's important for all this to be very active, and ultimately it really doesn't matter who votes for what, and by voting effectively, the SEC will see this as active participation and will not be able to go after Algorand when it comes to the, is it security or not. With regards to option A or B, my 2 cents is that if you look at ADA, for instance, and the fact that they do have truly lock-in mechanism, rather than an ability to effectively pull out without having, a penalty, which effectively option B is, also means that it's more stable and less, I would say, volatile instrument. Now, obviously people can argue one way or another. We have seen volatility,
in ADA as well as much as in Algo. But I think by having option B out there, at least the amount that is locked in effectively will be more stable, and people will not be twitchy on selling it, if you see the movement of whatever 15-20%. Either way, I do also understand, obviously, people's circumstances, life circumstances change, and that ultimately can deter some people, locking in their tokens. But that ultimately also, it really is, management or self-management, I should say, when you lock those tokens in the first place, and maybe not locking, 99%, but 75%, and putting that 25% on side. Just in case something does happen during that period. I mean, ultimately, everybody has to, decide for themselves. But, from where I'm standing, it's kind of skin in the game. Option B makes more sense to me, and ultimately will incentivize people to think a bit harder, rather than being just, excited about, oh, I'm going to be a governor and I'm going to get an X amount return.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like I
agree.
like the point where you
I agree.
actually have to be a governor, you have to be committed to the process of Algorand, and option B really does, stabilize that mechanism that a lot of the people that are here in the Algorand community really worked hard with the foundation and Inc. to see this happen. So to have the right to be a part of the ecosystem, but to not really have to be a part of it doesn't really make sense. But that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I understand the points you're making, and I agree. But at the same time, I view it as like we can't lose the sight that this is the first voting we have. In the future, we can like create a system that's not punitive, because right now, like option B is very punitive, and I feel like we can force or like incentivize participation in other ways besides punishment. But that's just me. Like this vote is not like we're gonna decide all the incentives about governments. Once we can have more votes in the future about this.
But sorry for that. I mean, sorry for interrupting. I don't think it should be seen as punishment. I mean, I'm, for instance, taking Atom on KuCoin, and it's like 21-day its release period. So, I mean, reality is we can also vote on, if you want to pull out your tokens, you have to have like a vesting period of whatever, 1 month or 21 days or whatever it is. So this really, and maybe that should be, if somebody decides to pull it out, maybe there should be an option, and maybe we should vote for that later on, where we say, okay, if you want to pull your, algos earlier, you can do it without penalty, but you have to wait for 30 days from, your trigger date or that you wanted to do it. But
I think
if you
that's a
really
great
want to do
idea.
it, if you really want to do it right away, there needs to be a punishment, because people will, and I know, I've been looking at the crypto for a long time, and I can see how people are trading and their patterns. Coin goes up 20-25%, straight away there is a selling pressure. But this is something that will effectively take away that selling pressure. Because if you do have an ability to pull your algo from the governance model, because you have seen that price has gone up X amount, that is something that we don't want in reality. If you want to have this, I wouldn't say stable, but more kind of on we don't have this massive volatility which we are experiencing every time coin goes up and down. And I think having more stable trajectory, it will attract more institutional investors, because one thing that institutional investors are scared of is that extreme volatility. And I think having governance and especially model B will effectively, well, hopefully prevent that.
So I
Yeah.
got kicked out. My phone completely crashed. This Twitter Spaces is awesome. But I don't know. So I don't know if this was actually said, but one of the things you can do to hedge is what was mentioned earlier, is by having multiple wallets with the slash. That means if for some reason you don't, if you actually do sell a portion of it, you're not getting slashed on your entire amount.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking to do before the vote, before I knew the vote. But yeah, I was thinking about dividing my stack in 8 wallets and commit 8 wallets, 8 different wallets. And if I want to remove one, I still have the other ones, etc. It gives us a more flexible way to do it. But now with this vote, with the option B, it's really interesting that we kind of tend to prefer B because also we are probably one of the most committed, like a group of most committed members of the Algorand ecosystem. So it doesn't, that's what Chris said, it doesn't change anything for me because I know I will check everything every day, like Monty, and I will I will watch Monty, then I will listen to Chris, then I will like check Payscript, then I will check like what Kwame is doing. Like we are so involved that for us the commitment it's not a problem, but for the newbies, that people that are just coming in, to be slashed on their first governance, that can be a kind of painful. So yeah, I get the point of what Go NFT says, that for newcomers that might be a big commitment that they cannot sustain, and they might lose 8% and talk bad about the Algorand governance. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was mentioned earlier that, if we're, like for myself, getting involved with governance, I'm committing what I'm okay to lose in governance. And I think that if people are using that approach, either A or B is, like for people who are new and are not used to locking periods for, other types of, cryptocurrencies, that might be, different for them. But there's a good reason for an option B, but I do see with someone who's new to the ecosystem leaning towards A. But I would just put out there is to create a wallet to join in the governance system, and just commit the algos that you're willing to lose in governance, and then participate that way. And you can always add more algo as you feel more comfortable with the governance process. But there is a good reason for wanting to have a locking period, especially during those governance and voting portions. But yeah, it's a really tough question, and it's going to be really interesting to see what the end vote is going to turn out to.
Hey, I wanted to thank you guys for letting me speak and everything. I got to go, but this has been amazing, and I really do think there's room for both option A and B down the road, kind of like Roth IRA versus 401k. So I think the opportunities are endless. So thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend. Talk to you soon.
Have a good day. So switching topics a little bit, I don't know how many of you actually follow me on Twitter, but if you follow me on Twitter and you see that I responded to something that was deleted, it's usually for a good reason. So I don't know if you guys saw that recently or not, but yeah.
Is this the testnet, mainnet dialogue I saw going on?
Yeah.
Yep, I saw that.
I'm not aware. What is it about?
I was just warning a member of the community that they shouldn't launch their application on production until they're actually ready for it to be on production.
Yeah, that sounds like a good advice.
I was actually going to ask you just to expand on just a general warning and why that wasn't a good idea without naming the the parties involved.
Sure. So the thing with blockchain and just smart contracts in general is that, like, once it's out there, it's out there. If you launch and put something out there, someone's going to find it and someone's going to use it. And if it's not an audited, fully ready thing, it's your responsibility to make sure, as the actual person launching, that it is actually something ready for users. And it's just, I mean, sure, anybody has the ability to do anything. It's a decentralized system, but it's just better for the overall community that you're not launching on production. And even if you are going, if there's 100% a reason to do so, don't announce it to the entire world that you're doing it. I mean, that's they're just going to be like watching now.
Yep, I agree. Hard to do something stealth when you announce the announcement, so to speak. There.
So that's a good general warning for everybody. I have no power here. This is just more of as a concerned user or concerned member of the community. That if you're going to launch something, make sure that it's ready to be launched, and don't tell everybody about it if there's a risk.
Yeah, it's true. But blockchain involves like financial risks, and the security has to be like maximum. It's not like just a website or something. Yeah. But it's funny because the audit thing, I feel like the audit system is good, but it's not. I don't feel like it's a sufficient security measure to
Oh
really
no.
release something. Can you
Oh
tell
no.
us more, Chris?
Yeah, audits in general aren't the silver bullet, the safety belt that I think a lot of people think they are. Like when you get an audit done, what happens is you tell the auditors what to look at because they need to have some type of direction. You say, okay, this is what I want to make sure that my contract can do. So you're like, I want to make sure that it's a can't be upgradable and it's I don't know XYZ. And the auditors will then say, okay, great, I'll go look at it. And what they do is they will look at the code really hard, and then they will write a letter that says, I am really smart, and I looked at this, and this doesn't do X, Y, Z. By the way, we don't guarantee anything. And the amount of time that they look at it is purely based with the amount of money that they wanted to, or that the company actually charged. So it is a good first layer of protections because it allows for a second set of eyes to look at something. But just because something is audited doesn't mean it's safe.
So I have a question, Chris. Why do people audit then? Is it like a fake security?
It's not fake security. It's a good first layer. It's make sure that's it's better than nothing, 100%, because it's a whole set of other eyes on it. But it doesn't. It's not there's no guarantees involved at all. I mean, several contracts in the Ethereum space that have been fully audited have been have holes in them. I mean, do you think Compound wasn't audited 1.5 billion times?
Yeah, I agree. But why? How come nobody kind of did a platform where you could ask community members that are verified to do the audit and do a revenue share, not based on that instead? So you would have various developers reading code.
It wouldn't make anything better per se because
no, it would be
the same.
Yeah, but the finance would go to the community instead.
Yeah, but the issue there is like, do you trust the community more than you trust people that are dedicated to auditing and reputation?
No.
I mean,
no.
You might. I don't know if I do.
Yeah, no one wants me to audit any smart contract. I can guarantee you that.
We will sell anything will be sent to Bilal.
That would be a disaster.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
you're approved. It's approved. Everything's approved.
Shill alerts. Reach fixes this makes this process better as well because we allow for a couple things. Number one, we allow for the auditors to put into the code itself the assertions that they are asserting to say that, yep, this is actually mathematically proven to be correct rather than just a letter. And it also enforces those assertions before the code will even compile. And the cool thing too is that the assertions stay there, so every single time you compile after that, the assertions will still have to pass. Reach is still not a silver bullet because if you don't put the correct assertions or what have you in there, there's still possibilities that you can make mistakes. But once again, just like regular auditing gives you one layer, just writing your application on Reach gives you a whole another big layer. So there's always still potential of a mistake, but the idea is to actually to get to the point as things are as secure as possible.
Yeah.
Hey Chris,
Cool.
I've always wanted to know this question. with the Reach program, would you have to audit both the Reach program and the teal on Algorand?
So it depends on when you're asking the question. If you're asking as of today, Reach, we say that we trust the actual compiler, but the audits as of today, we recommend auditing the teal directly. And the reason for that is because we haven't fully formally verified our compiler yet, and there hasn't been enough audits on the teal yet to start trusting the Reach code. That being said, Algorand Foundation has already committed to a grant that is going to do an entire full spectrum audit on the actual output to teal, so that it will allow for people to trust the Reach code itself to be much more confident than the Reach code will do what they expect on the teal.
So Reach hasn't compiled itself.
Yeah, we right now. So I mean, Reach will never compile itself, but what will happen is that we will change the actual code base itself to be in a to be output from a formally verified spec, so that you'll be able to actually guarantee that the compiler will do exactly as you expect in all potential realities. That's really nerdy stuff, by the way. No, very few compilers have ever done that, but we have committed in our roadmap to actually do that.
Cool.
So now I'm leaning more towards option B. Like, the more I think about it, the more I feel like, yeah, maybe we deserve a bigger reward, and and that's it. Like, who can defend option A?
I mean, so once again, I said I'm for B as well, but option A, I think a lot of people have brought good points up, is that if it's not all about us, sadly, as much as I would love it to be. It's about actually growing the community, and if people are having bad experiences, they are going to make a lot of noise about those bad experiences, and being slashed is a lot more painful than not getting rewards, and so they
Yeah,
would make a lot of noise about that.
that's what scares me. Yeah. What do you think, Monty?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm really on the fence now, because I've initially came out very strong for option B, and but I did hear back from a lot of folks in the community that option A was better because it wouldn't scare people off, and it seemed like we were, like we were acting greedy, I guess, us who are fully committed. Now, I obviously don't see it that way. I just see us as being fully committed. But I was going to go through an exercise with the crypto nerd queen, where maybe one of us plays devil's advocate and we just pick a side and we run through the pros and the cons for the community as I've heard them from everybody here, and I'll try to be where we'll be balanced. I personally am. I think I'm much more neutral than I was before. I'm still slightly leaning towards option B, because I feel like, hey, this is ideally the 8% wouldn't be, not many people would be penalized. And if they did get penalized, it would be because there was some kind of a, unforeseen circumstances. I really feel like, hey, if you've got this much money in Algorand, then, you shouldn't invest what you, can't afford to, be without for 90 days. And it's not uncommon to, have something locked up when you, invest in other vehicles like a CD, or some type of an IRA, or some type of a retirement. 90 days doesn't seem like a long period to me. So yeah, I'm still a little on the fence, I guess is what I'm saying. But I'm going to try and put together a fair and balanced, as best as I can, video to go along with it.
Yeah, and on top of that, all those vehicles have, if they in crypto, they either don't let you release it, or in regular finance, there's penalties. So it's
Right.
This is not a new thing.
Yeah, I think people just, they haven't seen it necessarily for crypto, but if you were, investing in, with your financial institution, your centralized finance bank, something like that, this is not a new concept. Maybe we just need to relate it that way so people are more comfortable with it.
Yeah, I mean, the other option is to, what everybody else does, is actually just lock it in, where you don't have a choice to do anything but keep it there.
Yeah, Yeah, I agree with Monty. Like I agree with you, Monty, and yeah, and also like option B with many wallets. Like if you feel like you can have a problem during 90 days, you can have like 10 wallets, and if you have a problem, you can use half of them or something like that. But and also I like what Eldar say about the volatility. If that can slow down the volatility on Algorand and bring new kind of wallets to invest on Algorand, that can be a very, very interesting one. Yeah, I like this point actually. Yeah, and Monty, tell us more about your new members in your team. Like you said Crypto Queen.
Yeah, we are expanding the crypto nerd family. So we have an investor now, and they would like to grow the team into much more of a media presence. So you'll see some announcements coming out shortly where we are available to hire as almost like ambassadors or something like that. We've got a couple of cool projects coming out. We've got at Crypto Nerd Wolfgang, who's going to cover projects not necessarily Algorand primary, I guess maybe, but more like the companies who are associated. So we may cover an exchange, for instance, versus the actual cryptocurrency. We do a bunch of that now. We obviously I've done a bunch of interviews with folks, but he's going to cover maybe some off-chain topics. We also have Crypto Nerd Queen, who's going to cover a bunch of items, but primarily she's really interested in NFTs and obviously a little bit of governance. I mentioned that earlier, I think. So she'll be involved quite a bit as well. And we've got a website, cryptonerd.com, coming soon. Looks pretty basic right now. Don't judge me. But we've got some really cool things coming up in the somewhat near future, including some like community-based feedback projects where they rate projects themselves on the website and give almost like crowdsourced reporting. And yeah,
Wow,
there's some good stuff coming up.
so much going on. I love it. That's so cool. And maybe we can work out a collaboration with Kwabi with engagement token that will be linked to Fame, so people who participate in your channels can also get a reward for that.
Mm-hmm. Would love that. And I'm still saving room for Fame too. So I promise I'll report on those projects too. And
That's
events
awesome.
wherever they happen in the world. I just need to get the info.
Wow.
Hey Monty, whenever you want to chat with me, just let me know.
I will definitely let you know. My schedule is about to be freed up quite a bit as far as other projects go. So I'll be able to focus a lot more on Algorand and the ecosystem here.
Because there's a lot of stuff that I can talk about between Reach, between the unnamed DEX DeFi suite that is coming out, and then of course, and then of Game Jam protocol as well. All three have a lot of news.
How about I come on Better on Blockchain and you come on do a 30-minute show with me, and I'll send you a T-shirt. You wear my T-shirt and I'll wear yours.
Sounds good.
Right. I love it. Love it. That's my two favorite channels actually on YouTube actually. Like Algo HQ, Crypto Nerd, Reach. What are the other good channels that you follow, Monty, on YouTube?
Cooper Daniels does about 50-50, maybe 60-40 Algorand, and then his other what is it, like Digibyte or something like that, something he covers. I forget what it is, but he does some good stuff. He just did one about governance. I've co-hosted some things with him. In fact, I co-hosted AlgoFest with the Recoup.
Oh yeah, Recoup. Yeah, I just discovered him. He's pretty cool and he's very entertaining. He's really nice. He's really funny. Yeah. Do we have other subjects, my friends? I see here in the group John, Oyster, please, Value, Vision, Jeff, Crypto Nerd Queen, like you're welcome.
Hey John, win announcement.
John is invited to speak if he can, if he's with his phone.
He's gonna come on and say, "What announcement are you talking about?"
Exactly.
Right?
He'll say, He'll say, "Well, we're not ready to make any announcement yet."
Yeah.
Who's excited for Decipher?
I still haven't bought my tickets yet, and it's costing me more money. The more we talk about it, the more it's costing me because I gotta wait till the next drop happens now.
I'm so excited about it. Like, I'm even thinking if I will not come for a longer term, like maybe 1 week or 1 week and a half. So I'm trying to free up some time because I also have like some friends to visit in Miami. So I will try to come there like more than a week maybe. And Chris, what are you talking? What will you present us there? Is it about the DEX suite?
I'm hopefully we're gonna have announcements for all three of the projects we're working on.
Wow, so cool.
Potentially 4.
Oh, there's a fourth one. Oh, the one you. Oh, wait, what is it? The game one? You're talking about the game one?
No, that one's actually a lot bigger than what I think people realize. That's going to be by then really big. But the one I'm talking about is that we have. I think I mentioned it here before. But we are working on a cross-chain browser wallet, so that you can actually have one wallet for all of the chains that Reach connects to. So that's makes it a lot better user experience.
Wow, you never talked about that. That's incredible. You never shared about that, I think.
All right, there you did. Then I did. It's being worked. It's being actively worked on right now.
That's so cool. The Google of blockchains. That's what we need. Yeah, a very simple like user interface that has like some magic behind it that we can connect any blockchain. That would be amazing, especially for NFTs, etc. Wow. Who do we have here? I see anyone wants to bring up a subject, a comment, a question? I see MIT Innovative Exec Director. That sounds cool.
Did AlgoDex get funded? I thought I saw on Twitter that they actually got their funding.
Yeah, a small group called Algorand something, Algorand 6 or something like that, Capital, funded them. It looks like it might have just been formed for them. I don't know, but it had it was funded and acquired. I didn't find out if that just means they purchased 51% or something along those lines. And then Alex became an advisor for that investment group as well. So there was some kind of an exchange there that happened. Obviously, we don't know all the details, but yeah, they did get funding.
I was involved with the potential merger between AlgoDex and AlgoDesk, and we did a walk away. And I believe that the team who ended up, I don't know if they did an acquisition, but the team who ended up funding Alex and AlgoDex is a Canadian group who are very interested in crypto because they were kind of involved at the very early stage when I started negotiating with Alex. But so far he has only said that he has been funded and an acquisition has been done, and that he is, for some strange reason, going public in Canada in 3 months' time.
Yeah, I saw that portion about going public. It was an interesting move.
I've never heard about a project or a business going or doing an IPO while they're still on testnet. So it's going to be very interesting. Can you guys hear me? I'm driving.
Yep, I can hear you. I was just trying to formulate my response so that it was politically correct.
Right.
All right.
I don't think anybody wants to comment. Is I think what the.
Yeah, but I'm not. I don't live in the US, so I can basically say whatever I want to.
So the AVM went live.
Well,
Does that mean Tiny Man's coming anytime soon? And we got a whole bunch of other projects Chris, that are about to, are we about to get an onset of projects that are able to use that and will get released soon?
Sure. I think that's. I mean, so I don't believe. I mean, I don't know for sure because I don't think I've actually even talked to Tinyman before. But I doubt that Tinyman was waiting for AVM 1.0 in the first place because they already went through all their audits. So I mean, they wouldn't adopt the AVM 1.0 new opcodes and then just get new audits because that would just push them out even further. So I would assume that Tinyman's coming very soon. But yeah, there's lots and lots of projects that are knocking on the door, and I mean, I am advising quite a few of them. But as you all know me, I try not to actually talk about things until they're actually really imminent.
All right. I noticed there's some NFT, artists and projects that are on here, and I've been curious to get feedback about, the various platforms. Rand versus AB2, and if anybody's had some interactions with the Zest team yet, and if Zest really is going to fix some of the issues that we see there. For instance, the auction stuff is really cool on Rand, but the royalty stuff on AB2 is also pretty cool. Why don't both of those have both of those features? Is there any particular reason? And the split royalty thing, is that really a game changer? Where you kind of predetermine, okay, that if I'm going to give away, so Algorand, you donate trees, I think, right? So what if you had a split royalty system where part of the funds just went to automatically getting that certification, and the rest automatically went to you, and everything's verified on chain? Then is that important to folks?
Oh, sorry. Could you just repeat the question, Monty?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of rambled there so there were
Sorry.
might have been many questions actually buried there.
Yeah,
but
well, I guess I can. I'll tell you what. I'll tackle the first bit about Rand and AB2. I think the way things have developed through the ecosystem, I think they've both really found their own niche. I think Rand, where that excels, is it's probably currently it's the primary platform or it's really the only platform where you can actually do a kind of a release or a primary drop, if you like. It can handle, you could drop as many pieces as you want. Because of AB2's method, you're limited, so you can only actually release 10 pieces at one go. And I think they've had a few issues around where some of the bigger creators have tried to do a release there, and it's kind of overwhelmed their system. So Rand's really great, excels at the primary. AB2, their strength has really been kind of facilitating that secondary market. So where collectors want to go and trade pieces, they generally go and they'll list on AB2. So they've both kind of got different strengths. And I think my understanding is they've both kind of got a good appreciation of each other. It's not like one's out to try and kind of dominate the market, take market share away from the other. They actually both see a role and see value that they both bring, and they're quite happy, I think, to work sort of side by side, and it's collaborative rather than competitive.
Yeah, if anything, it seems like friendly competition, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think that's what everyone in the NFT space is, wants to see the space grow and the community develop, and sort of as new features come out, it's something that everyone can use and everyone can benefit from. So yeah, that's where those two are at. Zest Bloom, I have had chats with them some time ago before we launched. I think it's exciting what they've got coming. I know they've run into a few delays. They were probably hoping to be live by now, and I'm not quite sure where their current timeline is. I'm guessing it's been pushed back a little way.
I just talked to them. They said, hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll happen this next week. I think Tuesday or Wednesday is what they were hoping for. We'll see what happens.
Cool. Is that kind of their private sort of test release, or are they going to go? Is that to go kind of full live?
They want to go full live next week.
Wow, that's really exciting.
They're going full live without people testing a testnet. Nice.
I don't know the status of their test net.
Yeah, cause I thought they were going to do some kind of like closed, like limited sort of test. I think it wasn't going to be on testnet, but I think it was going to be there was going to be a few creators who were going to be invited to mint a few pieces and kind of do a soft launch, if you like. But I'm not 100% on any of this, so don't quote me. But yeah, it's exciting if they are coming out this week. That'll be great. It's another, just gives more opportunities and different ways that we can release things. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited for that as well. The cool thing about AB2 is that they were accepted into the Draper University Accelerator. So I believe you'll start seeing a lot more stuff coming out of them.
Yeah, I think that's great. They've got funding because they were one of the projects that they've just, they don't take any commission from the creators, then don't take any commission from the sales. They just run purely from tips and donations. So the fact that they've got some real funding, that's great. I think it's very well deserved.
Yeah, I agree. AB2 to me is the go-to gallery for me, and that's the one I recommend first to my friends just to support AB2, and then I have a look at the other ones and the functionalities. Yeah.
I like AB2 specifically purely because they're decentralization first or decentralized first, and that's why I like AB2 personally.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see now that with the ABM updates, because at the moment they're kind of limited by, I think you as a creator you could only have 10 pieces go live at once, and I'm assuming that was to do with the restrictions around smart contracts. So with that being increased to 50, I don't know whether that's something they'll be able to pass on to their users, and you'd be able to list larger releases at one time.
I released my friend did this ring around my profile picture, and I released 1,000 at once.
But
so,
yeah, but was that 1,000 of the same ASA?
Yes.
Yeah, because I was kind of, when I was saying you could do 50, I was talking about sort of 51 of one unique pieces.
Okay.
Whereas yeah, if you could do one, but you could have kind of multiples of that, if you like.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
So yeah, that is actually a Algorand limitation. That being said, I mean there are ways to actually program around it. You can launch multiple NFTs from the same smart contract if you wanted to, but it would be more complicated, of course. But yeah, so like the ABM 1.0 increased the number of contracts you can opt into. It didn't increase the number of contracts that you can actually launch yourself, so that limitation is still there. But I do know that both of those limitations are the Algorand is actually working on completely removing those limitations altogether. So that's actually really exciting.
Wow, that would be so powerful. Hi, Cody. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Just waking up, getting some coffee in me.
Yeah, good.
I had to skip coffee because I woke up and all of a sudden I say this thing was already going. I skipped my coffee break.
I know, right? They moved it up an hour and didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to Chris. The problem is that Australia, because this is mainly for Australia in Asia, and Australia had its daylight savings, and I didn't know until this morning, and I had another meeting, so I started it 1 hour ago, earlier, just to make sure it's not too late for our Australian and New Zealand friends.
Well, yeah, thank you, Bilal. We do appreciate that. I don't know how many others we've got here from Australia who are online tonight.
Yeah,
but I certainly
what time is
appreciate
it?
that.
What time is it for you now?
we started early, but it's 20 to 1 in the morning now.
Wow.
It's kind of run on. I'm gonna have to call it pretty soon. I've been tinkering away in the background, but I've got an early start tomorrow. We tend to try and do our releases. We've been timing them, so it works out about 7-8 a.m. on a Monday morning here in Australia. That I think it's about 10 p.m.
in the UK, and it's about 2 p.m. on the West Coast. So it's one of the few times in the day where kind of it lines up for all the different time zones, so we can give as many people a chance to take part as possible.
Awesome.
So I've got a bit of an early start tomorrow because we're going to do a little thing around our usual time, and I think we've got 9 pieces left, which we're going to do something fun with. So yeah. I'm going to follow Chris's lead. I don't want to kind of announce the announcement, if you like. But yeah, tomorrow morning, 7, 8 a.m. Australia time, or 2 p.m. Pacific time, we'll be releasing the details.
Awesome. Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Should be fun. I think during the call, I've just kind of put the finishing touches, so we are good to go. I think I'm gonna do a few more tests before I go to bed, and then get up and have a cup of tea and get this thing going.
Awesome. Have more trees in Australia.
That's it.
That's amazing.
We'll be able to plant some more trees. There'll be an announcement about that this week, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm really excited about what we're going to do tomorrow. I don't think anyone's done what we're going to do tomorrow morning. I don't think it's ever been done. Certainly not been done on Algorand. So it will be a first. It's going to be a bit of an experiment, but I think it should go all right.
So cool. Yeah.
I'm now curious what you're going to be doing.
Well, stay tuned.
So the anti-announcement is working, in other words. We're curious now, right?
Love it.
That's a good one.
You're now an official influencer.
I think
next level is I'm going to announce that I'm going to announce an announcement.
A meta announcement. Yeah. Algorand, I was in Canberra when the whole fire was on, and I could see the fire, like the flame, from my balcony, basically. So we couldn't open the window. We had everything burning around, and then it was a disaster. It was all black around. Like, it was so sad, like, to see that, and doing what you do is incredible because, like, trees are not only trees; there is a whole ecosystem living in it, and I really appreciate what you're doing for the Australian forests.
Oh, thank you. I think if anyone's interested in finding more, the people we're working with to do all this is a great organisation called Carbon Neutral. You can jump on to our website or onto their website and find out a bit more about how they approach it. But yeah, they're doing some really great work. So it's awesome to be able to support them and just see the projects have a real world impact.
Yeah.
But I think if anyone else has any questions, I'm happy to try and answer them now. Otherwise, I think I might have to get going.
Anyone has any question? I can just request to speak, and I will give it to you immediately.
Yeah, one question is, what announcement are you going to make tomorrow morning?
You can ask anything but that, Chris.
Oh, but we have too many speakers, so I need to remove someone from being a speaker
You can
quickly.
kick me. You can kick me if you want.
Get the request. Sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, kick me out, Bilal. It's Elder.
No, it's fine now. It's fine now.
When I can will be open the possibility to vote, because I already delegated, but it's closed now, right? To vote on governance.
Yeah, the vote will start on the 31st of October.
Ah, okay, yeah, 31st of October. I was confusing with September. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good job, guys. I learned a lot. I hope I can participate in the next one. You are all building the future.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Hey, everybody. Episode 5 of Better on Blockchain should be released very soon.
Oh, cool. You should put it in the chat, you know, the group chat we have, the group chat we have on Twitter. If you could put
Yeah.
the link there, that would be awesome. Also, Monty, you should share your links in the group chat.
The topic this one is DAOs and what are they?
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
I need to listen to that.
Love it.
That'd be a good one.
I mean, they're all good ones to be clear, but
Yeah, that is true. But that one's gonna really intrigue me. I should rephrase.
And when I say we, this one Jay is very passionate about, so he pretty much talked the entire time. So I just sat there to pepper him with questions.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna watch it, and yeah, I don't know if I can talk a little bit about Fame, because we are trying now to have a DAO going on for 2022. Do you mind if I share a bit like what we want to do and also ask you some question on what you think about it?
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, so thank you. So basically what we want to do is around the Fame token to have it like it's already 80% in circulation. And for the 20% left, we want to have one minister, kind of minister for art, one minister for charity for each month. So each month, let's say Algorand runs a campaign to become a minister for graphic arts. Let's say he gets elected, he becomes a minister. So every, let's say March, because it's March for graphic arts, every March he's in charge of running the challenge for graphic design. So all projects that are doing something with graphic design can participate, and they will earn an extra bonus that will be distributed to the minister, and the minister will get like a few fame for him and a few fame for the winner as a bonus. And these 24 ministers, like 12 for arts and 12 for charity. So every minister is in charge of his field, and he has the whole year to get ready to have a good challenge that attracts as many projects to have as the biggest impact we can have on charity and to support artists. And that will let me go out of Fame at the end of 2023 to have all 24 ministers plus a potential president to break even the votes to run Fame, and not me. I will just be watching and supporting and building on the background for the Fame community other tools. So that's basically what I want to do, what we want to do for 2022. So if anyone wants to become a Fame minister, we will start with the voting every month. Like January, it will be for land art and fight cancer. So we will run the vote on January, and I will be sharing more news about it. So all 2022, we will be able to vote for our ministers.
Wow, that's fantastic, Bilal.
Thank you.
Sounds
If you
amazing.
any feedback, any ideas, please feel free, and I will be sharing more news just to release everything and make it work with multi-sigs everywhere, like 4 multi-sigs of 6 and the president included. So they control the 20%. They can do whatever they want with it because they will decide, and the community will decide at the end. Voting with the quadratic vote as usual with their Fame. So I won't have any decision to make anymore. Yeah.
That's why you
So
want to
yeah.
watch that DAO show with Chris coming up, huh?
Yeah, I've been watching DAO videos like for the last 3 months. Like I've been like literally like all YouTube. Like there are so many good DAO projects on like everywhere basically, and there is one There's a really good one. I forgot the company he works with, but he has a really good series on DAOs on YouTube. And I've been meeting with DAO specialists like Grace Rachmany, and maybe you know her. Have you heard of Grace Rachmany? Anyone?
No, but I know Chris
No,
has
I
been on
have
here a
not.
couple of times, huh? From what is it? Ant
And Hildell.
Ant Hildell, yeah.
Yeah, and Daniel, and yeah, there are so many resources, and I still need to read as much as possible and to watch as many videos. But basically, it's just for me to lose my power, as much power as I can, like until I have nothing left, and that's basically it. Without the system to be completely compromised by a team of people within the community. That is the very interesting part. I love it. It's kind of game theory a little bit, because the community can decide to change the salary of every minister, but they have to commit 10 fame to put this proposal, and then the community votes. They can also fire any minister. They will need to put a certain amount of fame, and then the vote goes on and the community votes. And they can change the positions they can change the whole position of a role. They can erase a role, put a new role, and that is most costly in terms of fame, just to not make the system too unstable. So yeah, I'm excited to show it. I will put a YouTube video to explain the details, but I've been talking with many people to help me, and I think we are pretty close. I hope by January we will start the vote, and 2023, I won't be in control of anything. So exciting.
Nice. I think the next episode that we're going to do with Better on Blockchain is going to be real estate, which I know that a lot of people
Oh,
here are
wow.
really excited about.
That's my jam.
Yeah, that's Monty's jam.
Hey, Chris, somebody just messaged me about something called PackSwap. Are you familiar with that?
I am not.
They sent a message and asked about that in regards to NFTs for ASA trading. Is anybody else familiar with PackSwap?
Yeah, so I think PackSwap, and there's another one, Roundswap. It basically allows you to do an atomic transfer. So if I had an NFT and I'd agreed to sell it to you, and we didn't want to do it through one of the marketplaces, so we could just do it direct. So I could submit the NFT, I could put in your receiving address and the amount, and then you can opt in and choose to accept that. So it's kind of, it just means we can we could use that platform to do that trade, and there's no risk to either party because it's all handled through smart contract or atomic swap. I don't know the technical side behind it, but yeah, so it's like a trustless swap system.
Awesome.
We're building in trustless swaps inside of the NFT gallery thing that we're building as well, just so everybody knows.
Wow. Yeah, you have the whole suite.
I mean,
Exa Finance too. Exa Finance with the baskets. I don't know if you have the look at Exa Finance, everyone.
Yeah, I think Exa Finance is actually really cool. Like the whole idea. I mean, it's not a complex thing, but it's it provide good utility to the space. Being able to have a basket of assets and then tokenize that basket. I mean, I don't know how they get around the regulations of it, but I'll just assume that they figure something out. But the whole idea of being able to actually have a basket of assets and then tokenizing that baskets for then trade on exchanges, I think is really exciting.
Yeah, I talked to them and I asked them this question about regulation. Because it's a French team, so we talked for quite like 2 hours or something. It was super interesting. And actually, in France, surprisingly, it's not as hard as in US. So the legal team could figure out like the solution in the French law, and that brings, I think, France can be a leader in the NFT marketplace just because of regulation, actually, which is so exciting for me.
Yeah, everything is challenge mode in the US, man.
Yeah, and it not only that, but the problem is like worldwide, you have issues with the United States as well, because you need to do everything in your power to not sell to Americans. And if you do sell to Americans, then the SEC has jurisdiction over your project. Or so they
Exactly.
think.
Yeah, that's what I told him. Yeah, they are aware of that, so they will probably need a solution for the US users, like a kind of KYC or something. And maybe like Algorand did at the beginning, they completely banned the US citizen from the super reward. Oh yeah, that's why, Chris, you couldn't no US citizen could subscribe to the super reward.
Exactly. I was going to say that earlier, but I didn't.
Yeah, there's still a clause in the new governance regarding governance rewards about U.S. citizens, which might intimidate some people.
Yeah,
I haven't read it.
It says if you're a United States citizen, you can't do it.
Oh, really?
100%.
Is it true? Wow, that is crazy. I haven't read it. But at the same time, it's good that Algorand takes all good measures to protect itself, because I think the SEC will come after many, many projects of the top 100. Like I'm thinking of Cardano with Charles on YouTube. I think he will get into trouble. And yeah, I'm really interested to see how it goes going forward.
Speaking of that, Charles on YouTube, if anybody has any clips, I'm looking for mainstream media clips of any Algorand or Algorand project that I could put together. I want to, aggregate all of those clips in one spot. Possibly put together some kind of a montage or super clip, or at the very least, they'll have some type of a database of any mainstream media mentions. So if you have one, shoot me a DM or post it on there and just tag me on Twitter or someplace.
Yeah, sure. If you have like a link, if you can share with me a Google Drive link, I can send you some videos I have.
Excellent.
The Reach monthly update is this week on the 6th. We're actually using Monty, I think we're actually using the same like services thing that you use. Restream, I think it's called.
Yep, Restream's what I use. It works great.
Yeah, this is the first time we're actually going to be using Restream for it to make it a little bit more higher production.
Yeah. Any other subject or comment or question? We've been running for 3 hours, Chris, I think. Algoana, 3 hours, right?
Yeah, that's about right.
That's the longest we have done before. Like this is the longest ever. 3 hours.
I got a question before we go. Are we voting for A or B when the time comes?
Oh yeah, we had this debate already.
You slept through that conversation, man.
Yes, I did.
We will have it again for the US session in 3 hours.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I do got a little news. I will be able to share more for sure next week, but there will be a more usable DAO pretty soon.
Oh wow.
Nice announcement of the announcement.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to take my job now.
Yeah.
I know. But I for sure will have something some stuff that I can share next week.
Yeah, we all did an announcement of an announcement today. It's the special day today.
That's all right.
What do you mean by a more usable DAO?
I mean, like one that the community can kind of participate in like soon.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Built on Algorand?
Of course.
Love it. Is it linked to yldy?
Nothing off the top of my head besides, the partner staking was a huge success. You could see it in, in the volume charts on MEXC and stuff like that. But besides something new, I know the Binance bridge is supposed to be coming like this month.
Oh, you know what we haven't talked about is the shenanigans Binance has been pulling lately.
Oh my
Oh
God,
That's
yeah.
yeah.
BS right there.
Oh yeah. I was crazy. Like this is insane. What was going on?
Yeah, I'm kind of glad when I moved to Texas that Binance US is banned here.
Yeah, it's blocked
So I
for
had to
us.
quit using it.
Yeah, do you guys think that it's just lack of liquidity in the treasury, or what do you guys think?
I think what they probably there's yes liquidity in treasury, and it could be something locked in or around the actual governance where they baked in the idea of some type in their books that they reward in the next 90 days, and many people were removing, so they weren't going to be able to back up that claim or something. Who knows? I don't know.
They had pretty
Yeah,
generous.
that's
They
superficial.
had pretty generous staking pools, so I'm not sure what their plan is, but like everyone says, that's pretty shaky what they're doing.
Their wallet, I've been following their wallet since the beginning, and their wallet went up very high to 50 million algos recently, and they have been building a stack of 50 million algos just for until yesterday, and then they completely removed the buttons, which is like I felt like they just wanted to commit 50 million algos and let people trade like fake algos on their platforms, something like that. But maybe it's a conspiracy theory from me.
Well, the foundation said they were, trying to resolve this with them, which I hope they get us some clarity soon or something, especially for those whose algos are still trapped on there.
Yeah, they did. Now we can withdraw the algos since this morning. And I
Oh,
did.
okay.
That's good at least. I personally don't have any cryptocurrency on exchanges because I'm a nerd. But it was very disheartening seeing that happening.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was literally shocked. How could they do that in front of the whole world? That's crazy.
Especially with them trying to rebuild their reputation, like that didn't help any.
Yeah, that's insane. So now I removed everything. I just have some few tokens there, like to play with, but nothing serious.
I only have like a couple of $100 on exchange, and that's like at most.
Should we have a break and come back in 3 hours, my friends, and start again?
Are you gonna start an hour early on me again?
No, 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 no. Like there is no daylight saving in US, right? It's the same as usual.
No, we have it. It's just not yet.
Okay, yeah, it's later. Yeah, I think it's this month, like later this month. Yeah.
Who knows?
Cool. So
Regroup
see you in
in 3
3
hours.
hours. Yeah.
See you guys in a little bit.
So cool. See you, my
3 hours.
friends.
Cool.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Algorand.
everybody.
Thank you so much for
Thanks,
coming.
everyone.
All right, bye,
See you
everyone.
guys.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.